Hello, can you hear me? Okay, awesome. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Oh, that's brilliant. Yes, thanks everyone for tuning in to today's session. It's awesome to be here. Yes, thank you. I see you, Matis. Aaron, I see you. Erode, I see you. Not nuts. I see you. Yes, thanks everyone. Obina, I see you. Awesome, awesome, and happy Black History Month. Yes, Lindy, I see you. Giram, awesome. Carlos, hello. Mercy, Chioma, how are you? Yeah, we apologize for tuning in late. Okay, just bear with us. And without wasting much time, pardon the voice. Okay, I don't know what happened, but just pardon the voice. Okay, so let's kick off. All right, I'll go over, share my screen. Yeah, aloha. All right, brilliant, awesome. I believe you can see my screen. Okay, let's see. Okay, brilliant. Let me go ahead and share the screen again. Uh, Brilliant. Okay, awesome. And a happy Black History Month. Yes. Today, in fact, before we go ahead, I would like to say thanks everyone for tuning to today's session. I know we have an hour, but I'll try to keep to the time. We can end around, let's say, 7:15, because we didn't start on time. So I'll try to ensure, that we make best use of the time moving forward. Now, my name is Comfort. Comfort, as in comfortable. All right. The reason why I'm stressing on this is in the past, when I tell anyone my name, they'll be like, comfort, or are you really bearing that name? Yes, I am. So it's easier when I just say comfortable. So my name is Comfort Uduebholo. I am a security engineer with AWS. And guess what? Drum roll, please. February 27th would mark my 5th year anniversary with AWS. Oh, that's brilliant. It's been an amazing ride. Amazing. I have a BSc in mathematics and computer science and my master's in cybersecurity from George Washington University. Yes, I'm a World Bank speaker. I'm an advocate for women and girls in STEM. And if you're looking to transitioning into the STEM field, I'm here for you. If you need a mentor, I'm here for you. Awesome. Next, yes. Ooh la la. This is fun. Yes. And hey, don't get hungry now. Okay. Just stay focused. Stay focused. Fun facts. I am old school at heart. Yes, I'm old school at heart. I love movies, old school movies. Anything old school, you can call my name. Yes, I love traveling and I hope to visit some of the historical monuments around the world. I'm just looking down to when COVID ends. Hopefully, I would explore that option. Yes, I'm a WISIS member. That's the Women in Cybersecurity. Okay, I'm a volunteer, I'm a speaker, and I will be present at the WISIS 2022 conference. I hope to see you there. If you'll be attending in person, please connect with me. Aside from that, I'm a co-lead at the Executive Women Forum. Again, I'm a Grasshopper member. And yes, the last but not the least, you can see this food here. Fun fact, I love good food. Okay, and I don't mind exploring. Anything that has to do with rice, you can call my name and I'll run to you. Awesome. So let's kick off. Now, this is my link. You can just type in my name, Comfort Uduebholo, or on my Instagram, Comfort Uduebholo. If you have technical questions or you want to deep dive or anything that has to do with professional work, please connect with me on LinkedIn. But if you want social interactions, just to hang out, to say hello, Instagram. Without wasting much time, what is the agenda for today? Now, today's topic would be misconfiguration in the cloud. We are not going to be conducting like deep dive because of time. I'll try to touch on the surface, but moving forward, if you have additional questions, please, you can chime me on LinkedIn. I'd love to help. We'll talk about what is the cloud. What are some of the misconfigurations, the types, the risks in the cloud? What are some of the customers' challenges? What are the best practices, tools, shared responsibility model? And we'll talk about a sample exercise, scenarios, and questions and answers. Now, I love interactive sessions, but because of the little technical difficulties, I'm not able to see your comments. I apologize for that. So I can't see what you're typing. If not, I would have loved for you to chime in. What are your thoughts or ask some questions? But we'll just flow, okay? Now, what is the cloud? I would have loved for you to chime in for me, but yes, let's just proceed. Now, I know what you're thinking. When we say the cloud, we are not referring to a set of computers stored in the sky. Don't do this to me. Don't do this, okay? I saw this joke online where a child asked the dad. The child said, "Papa, what is this cloud made of?" And the dad said, Linux servers mostly. Oh my God, that really, I laughed so hard. That was so funny. So no, this is not the cloud. When we say the cloud, this is what we are referring to. I know it might be strange, but let me break it down for you. The cloud simply refers to servers that can or that are accessed over the internet. That's it. For example, if you're hungry, you go to DoorDash or Uber Eats. If you're trying to go somewhere, you're accessing the applications over the internet. Those applications, those databases are in here. They're stored right here in these servers. And these servers, they are located in data centers all around the world. If you have the opportunity of visiting one, you would see like racks of servers all stacked with hardcore networking, like fiber optics, fiber layers, everything. You see them in there, like it's gigantic. That is how it works. Okay, this is what cloud computing is all about. This is where users and companies, you don't have to manually or physically maintain your servers. Okay, you could have your applications just run in the cloud, and just pay for the space, for the time. That's it. This is what we mean by the cloud. This is the cloud. And this is going to lead us to our next phase. Now, keep in mind that when it comes to cloud security, there is a shared responsibility model. Just because I am renting a room in your house doesn't mean I have to leave my room door open. No, I won't do that. I understand you have the main door locked, but within my room, in my space, I would know and I would do the best thing needed, which is to change the keypad, change my keys, and lock my door. Keep that in mind. Next, what is cloud misconfiguration? What do we mean when we say misconfiguration? Again, no deep dive, because we can talk about this and we can stay here till, honestly, to the next day. I'm just going to touch on it, okay? Remember that cloud misconfiguration still remains one of the biggest threats to cloud security. So don't look down on this. Don't do that, okay? Don't get carried away by looking for the bigger things to tackle when really is the little things, like the foundation, that really, really matters. In this present age, it's nearly impossible to find a business, right, that does not have some degree of presence in the cloud. Now, with the addition of the explosion of working from home, remote working, and COVID, it has changed the landscape. It has changed it. Now, according to survey reports, now there was a survey that was done by Fugi, and it was discovered that every organization within the cloud had seen a misconfiguration incident at some point in the past. Wow. And about 73% admitted to having over 10 misconfiguration incidents a day. followed by a couple of respondents that noted that they don't have an idea what their misconfiguration rate was. So that is a problem. It's a problem. And according to NSA, in May 2017, a large defense contractor exposed sensitive NGA data and authentication credentials in the cloud. Everyone could have access to it. Now, that was a problem. That was the problem. That is a problem. Now, if you want to talk about cloud misconfiguration, simply put, I would say is a security vulnerability in plain sight. It can refer to gaps, errors, lack of awareness of your responsibility in the cloud, which can then lead to your company or your organization being exposed to risk. And this risk include one, data breach, where your accounts are compromised. You have data exfiltration. That's a problem because almost 250 IT professionals noted that security incidents related to their cloud space has to do with misconfiguration. So this list keeps going higher and higher. The next risk is, according to NSA, is the insider threats or external bad actors who can leverage on the vulnerabilities. Now, cloud misconfiguration still remains and is the top vulnerability in the cloud security environments. It still remains. So don't take that for granted. The third risk is disruption of services. If an attacker gains access to your network or servers, they could potentially disrupt your service. Yeah, they could plant in ransomware attacks, malware, anything is possible. So please pay attention, okay, to this. Let's move on. What are some of the common misconfiguration types or forms? There are a lot out there, but due to time, I will talk about this few, okay? Now, first, we have default password and hard-coded secrets. My, oh my. Now, a case study was carried out by 42 researchers where they configured few accounts with weak credentials, weak password, and within minutes, it was exploited. Within minutes, they gain access to the application and they did harm within minutes. So pay attention to that. Another is disabled monitoring and logging. Now, many organizations fail to enable, configure, or even check the logs and the analytical data within the organization. It's important to have a point of contact, someone within your cloud space to be in charge of evaluating the data, the logs on a regular basis. Okay, highlighting security related occurrences is very important because with these logs, with this data, it could be turned into actionable results. You could build mechanisms in place. You could take the right action. Is it important? You have to do this. Very important. The next issue is unrestricted inbound paths. Wow. Now, all paths open to the internet can be a problem. Not can, it is a problem. I understand that some services make use of high number TCP or UDP ports to conceal or hide critical information running in the cloud. I get it. But again, the truth is, obscurity, right? Security through obscurity is never really sufficient by itself. It doesn't protect you from a determined hacker or from any random internet scan. So you'd have to restrict high-level ports to only the necessary systems. This leads us to unrestricted outbound ports. Granting outbound access to RDP or SSH is a common cloud misconfiguration. As funny as it may sound, this is the truth. So when it comes to this issue, I'll recommend that you implement the principle of minimalist authority, because by doing that, it will help direct traffic only to applications and servers that truly matters or that truly needs to be communicated to. And the risk here is if this is not done right, it could lead to data exfiltration. Yes, that is part of the outcome if that is not done properly. Next, secret management. This misconfiguration issue can be damaging to your organization. Now, just imagine leaving your home's deadbolt key taped to your front door. Just imagine that. This is what happens when you don't secure your secrets like API keys, passwords, encryption keys, admin credentials. This is what happens. So ensure that you are maintaining an inventory of your company's secrets. Do that, evaluate them regularly. It's very important because this will keep you on your feet. And so that if there's any breach or any likelihood of breach, you would be aware. And another thing is you could implement some secret services or secret management solutions, such as AWS Secret Manager. There are a couple of secret management solutions out there. Okay, do your research, you'll find them and make the best decision. Now, the last is lack of validation. Now, it is important that yourself, your company, organization, or your team implement system for identifying misconfigurations whenever they occur. Build a mechanism, build a process for verifying and ensuring that permissions and services are correctly configured and deployed. Introduce the process. Do that. Okay? Brilliant. Let's move over to the next slide. What are some of the customers' challenges? Why do this issue occur? Misconfiguration issues. Why? What are some of the challenges our customers face or you yourself face? Why? The truth is, we have businesses, we have organizations with good intents and secured policies in place, but still they struggle when it comes to maintaining the security with respect to misconfiguration. In a joint research survey done by VMware and Cloud Security Alliance, 17% of companies reported a cloud security breach. And guess what? This was due to misconfiguration. Wow. Now, the first is cloud knowledge. Cloud knowledge gap. Ensure that you have cyber trainings, cyber security trainings, train your employees, conduct pen testing, carry out tabletop exercises, security awareness training. If it has to do with you training your employees, taking the SANS course or AWS certification, do that. Knowledge is essential. Okay? Very important. Don't take that for granted. Secondly, is unaligned teams. Imagine this. Okay. In order for teams or in order for us to achieve a common goal, we would have to agree, right? So how can we agree or how can two work together except they agree? And this can be due to a lack of interaction with security partners. According to a survey done, it was reported that 49% indicated that their information security team, IT operations, and DevOps are not aligned on cloud security policies. And even worse, 70% of those companies that these teams are working for or are based in, they never agree when it comes to basic alignment on policy enforcement strategies. Now, that is a problem. To align, this would require the participation of key security stakeholders. Because the reason for this is, let me just say, the primary goal is to help your developers follow cloud-based practices. Failure to align on a unified strategy could end up being a security or compliance risk. Yeah, that's true. Now, the next is poor risk visibility. This is a critical challenge. A survey was carried out, and about 63% of respondents reported that lack of visibility into misconfiguration vulnerability was the primary reason their company could not prevent the cloud security breach. And what is interesting is that about 91% of those respondents also noted that their companies are currently using some best practice solution in place. They have good solutions for detecting and remediating misconfiguration risk. So you see that is never enough. So if that is the case, then what could be wrong? What could be wrong? Then why is identifying misconfigurations so challenging? Why? Part of the reason tend to be confusion as to what your shared responsibility in the cloud is. That's part of the reason. Again, in a case where a company does know their duties, they know what to do. In a team, they need to have that breadth and depth of risk visibility. This means having monitoring controls in place, monitoring your accounts, monitoring the service, making sure they have appropriate security policies. This requires having deep insights or deep dive into your external dependencies, your resources, configuration dependencies, and numerous path scenarios. It is also important that you have comprehensive security support in place. Have comprehensive intelligence in place, because you'll be surprised to see that some organizations or some businesses, they lack this. Have intelligence, have good reporting in place. I will end by saying this: even if your team has an established solution in place to monitor the cloud, please confirm if they have good risk visibility. Okay? Next is slow security processes. The truth is, this can also be due to overly complex infrastructure that can play a part. But it's well known that criminals can quickly identify and start probing your resources within minutes. So, speed is very important. Speed is vital, because the speed at which your team or a team can identify and fix a misconfiguration is critical in determining the success in avoiding a cloud security breach. All right, a survey was carried out, and half, let's say 44% of respondents reported that it takes them more than a day to detect a misconfiguration mistakes. And even worse, 63% noted that it takes longer than a day to remediate that risk. We have to do something about that. All right. Now, the last leads us to the major problem. Not major, but the famous problem. Lack of understanding of shared responsibilities. We'll deep dive into this in the next coming slides. Okay, let's move on. Cloud security solutions. Now, I'm happy we're here, but keep in mind that there is no one time fix for misconfiguration issues. Okay, I don't want you to beat yourself up and say, oh, I'm doing my best. There is no one time fix, because the truth is, the cloud is a dynamic environment. It's dynamic in nature. So what's secure today may be a risk tomorrow. You see, that is the truth. We have employee turnover, software update, DevOps pipeline, etc. So it's dynamic in nature. So it's not static. So it is definitely impossible to manage manually. Okay? So with that in mind, it's now important to implement and enhance security protection strategies. This will help defend your business and services against cloud misconfigurations. Now, moving down to the tools. There are so many great tools out there. I wouldn't want to start recommending, okay? You do your research and make the best decision. If you talk about networking tools, for example, you want to get a tool that is mapped with intelligence. Get great networking tools with threat intelligence. Okay, because tools as such could be capable of scanning the network for suspicious activities, for strange events, and any malicious activities. So this is something that you could leverage. There's so many tools out there, so you could just do your research, but ensure that it's incorporated with threat intelligence. You can work with third partners or third party resources. That's based on you. Okay, make the right decision. Now, moving on to best practices. Paying closer attention to cloud misconfigurations may be a tedious task. I get it. I understand. But the truth is, it pays off in the long run. It pays off. There are so many solutions out there. So many. It pays off. So we can't touch on everything. But I'll just touch on a couple. Establish standards. Now, let me talk about this. Establish standards that specifies each user's level of access, the proper usage of each service, the type of access to what data. It's very important. Have regulations in place. Implement them. Next is educate employees. Educate employees, because employees are accountable for their own use of the business technology and must be aware of the security hazards. Educate employees on the need for secure passwords, recognizing malicious communications. And you could introduce a shadow session where employees shadow the IT units to learn about these things. It's very important. Very important, because if this is not done, it could bring about damage. You could endanger your firm, and you could also end up endangering your brand. Next is data encryption. Data is vulnerable. It is, and this applies to both data at rest and in transit. So ensure you have encryption mechanism in place. Okay, it's very important. It's going to provide, if not the main, or it's going to provide a very good security posture. Very important. Okay, pay attention. Next is audit and pen testing. Introduce auditing. Introduce pen testing. Like I said earlier, tabletop exercises. At least this will guarantee that your security architecture or posture stays effective, while also identifying areas that needs to be improved. Next, endpoint security. Although I don't have that there, but you can implement endpoint security because this would help you to keep track of behaviors in the cloud, intrusion detection, firewalls, access controls, etc. It will also help you to build a strong defense. Excuse me. Adopt a change management practice. Now, an example would be having a change review. Now, this mechanism in place, having this mechanism is significant in reducing the chance of misconfiguration. Have a standardized method in place. Standardized methods such as scheduling, reviewing, and implementing changes as needed. Simplify your environment. Well, it's okay. You can have a custom infrastructure, but again, balance it. So rather than having custom infrastructure for every component deployed within your environment, you can standardize a few components, by using templates. The reason being that by implementing this standardization, it will allow team members to spot any misconfiguration concerns or anything that needs to be attended to immediately. Now, scan for vulnerabilities. We also recommend they scan your environment regularly. It's important, both static and dynamic. Scan them. Okay, test your networks. Very important. This brings us to the shared responsibility model. Again, I'm just hurt because I really wanted to see your inputs to this, but again, I can't. So let's just keep going. Now, the split of responsibilities between the provider, right, and your customer depends on what type of cloud service you are using. We have the infrastructure as a service, we have software as a service, we have platform as a service, etc. It all depends. It all depends. Now, I'll be using the AWS shared responsibility model as an example because AWS provides infrastructure as a service. Now, let me give you an example. With infrastructure as a service, what happens? Let me make it clear. We have on-prem. So in a case where I'm not using any of the cloud service, if I'm responsible for managing everything myself, when it comes to building the networking, like hardcore networking, I'll be responsible for that. The storage, the servers, the virtualization, the operating system, the middleware, runtime, data application. I will be responsible for the management of everything. Everything will be my responsibility. Okay? Installing the patches, everything would be my responsibility. But if you're using, for example, AWS as your cloud provider, this will not be the case. I will tell you what you'll be responsible for. Okay, I will share with you. But before we deep dive, remember that security and compliance is a shared responsibility between your cloud provider and you, the customer. Having this shared model will provide visibility into what your responsibilities are as a customer. Again, while relieving your business or your services from operational burden. Now you might be wondering, like, what do you mean by operational burden? That was what I explained earlier on the type of cloud services. We have the on-prem, we have IaaS, we have PaaS. So with you using AWS, you don't have to struggle or worry about the physical security, the hardcore networking, hardware, the everything, all your infrastructure. You won't be responsible for that. You won't. So that is what it means when I say you'll be relieved of the operational burden. Now, again, keep in mind that when it comes to the services you choose, the responsibilities will vary. Okay, it differs. Yeah. Now, talking about the security of the cloud. What do we mean by the security of the cloud? This is AWS responsibility. For example, AWS being your cloud provider, they'll be responsible for making sure that the overall infrastructure is protected. That's it. That's it. Then you as a customer, you are responsible for the security in the cloud. Again, your responsibility will be based on the AWS cloud services you select. Okay, you would assume this responsibility. The management of configurations, access management, encrypting your data, everything, the guest operating system, patches is you. You would have to take responsibility. Now, I'll give an example today so that it will provide a deeper understanding of what I'm talking about. So let's say, for example, you as a customer, you spin up an EC2 instance. EC2 instance is categorized as infrastructure as a service. With that in mind, you as a customer, you are responsible for the necessary security configuration and management tasks. Okay, you are. Let me break it down. As a customer, right? When I spin up an EC2 instance within my VPC, first, the AWS responsibility will be to protect the infrastructure that runs within that service. This includes having third-party auditors. They come in, they perform some checks. You can go online and you see our compliance status right there. You as a customer, what you'd have to do is you'd have to control network access to your instance. How? You configure your VPC, the ANI. You configure your security groups. You configure your ACL. Now, with that security group, if you notice, we talked about the outbound unrestricted port, inbound. It allows you to do all that. That's your firewall. You'll be responsible for managing the credentials you use to connect to your instances. You'll be responsible for managing the updates. Yes. And is aligned to your application, the software, the operating system, you will be responsible. And if you choose to automate this, you can use AWS Systems Manager. Okay, with that in mind, it will help you to install security related updates, for both your operating system and applications. Now, IAM. The reason why I'm chipping this in is with your EC2 instance, you can configure, or I would say you can map your EC2 instance to IAM rules. That would be very important. Now, what is IAM? IAM is identity and access management. And how does this apply? What does this mean? Now, if you are a software developer, right? Your deployed applications must sign the API request with AWS credentials. Now, this would require you as the developer to develop a mechanism to manage the credentials for your applications that runs in the EC2 instance. But with the IAM roles, instead of you creating and distributing these credentials, all you just have to do is you can enable your application to make secured API requests from your instances without having to manage, the distribution. That's it. Okay, an example would be create an IAM role, configure which accounts or AWS services can assume the role, define which API actions and resources the application can use after assuming the role, specify the role when launching the instance, or attach the role to an existing instance, and have your application retrieve a set of temporary credentials and use at a time. That's it. And if you want to go in deeper in terms of data protection in EC2, you can also find this online. You could implement a multi-factor authentication, use SSL or TLS to communicate with AWS resources. Okay, set up API and user login activity. Okay, with AWS Cloud Tray, use AWS encryption solutions, use advanced managed security services, and so on and so forth. Next, we'll talk about a sample, a scenario, or exercise. Okay, this is where I would have really loved to see you, but yeah, I will just go ahead and talk about this. Yeah. This is a sample scenario. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now because I would love to see some of your inputs here. I want to ask a question and I want to see your inputs, okay? So let me stop sharing my screen. All right, so let's do this. I've stopped sharing my screen. 1 second. All right. 1 second. All right. Okay, I think I can do both at the same time. I wanted to share my, yeah, I can do both. I wanted to see your response. I'll just go back and just continue the slideshow. But if I'm asking a question, I can see your response, but you can't see my screen. So yeah, that's tough. Let me just go back and have this. Now, look at this. I'll give you 1 minute. Peruse this. 1 minute. Yes, I'm giving you 1 minute. And it's counting now. Look at this infrastructure. Imagine you're an IT or AWS professional, and there's a customer. Okay, just imagine I'm your customer, and you are the IT or the AWS professional, and I'm your customer, and I come to you with this early stage of my design. This is my proposed design of deploying my public web application. Now, this is its early stage. I come to you like, okay, this is my plan, and I need your help in perusing this. The first question I would like to ask, assume definitely we could have some things that could be done better here. Yes. How can the customer, how can they protect against high volume of denial of service attacks or DDoS? That's the first question. How can they protect against that? Yeah, 1 minute. Think and I'll stop the screen sharing and I'll view your comments. Okay? Okay. Yes. Yes. How can they protect against DDoS attacks or a high volume of denial of service attacks? How? Let me stop sharing the screen now. Do we have any comments? Okay, none yet. Okay, none yet. That's fine. Or do you need more time? It's okay. Brilliant, Anthony. Yes, brilliant, Anthony. I see load balancing. Oh my, Charles. Wow, brilliant. Come on now, Mandix. I see IPS. Oh my, brilliant, brilliant. Wow, come on, Idris. I see WAF or load balancer. I love that, Idris. I love that. I love that. I love that. keep them coming. Keep them coming. Wow, we have gurus here. We have gurus. Oh, I'm excited. Awesome. Brilliant. I love this. That's the answer. That's it. Oh, wow. Yes, WAF auto scaling. Come on, Johnny. Johnny, I see you. Yes, Johnny, you're absolutely right, Johnny. This is brilliant. Oh, if only you could have a mic to just chime in and just talk. Yes, okay, Okafor. That's brilliant. Load balancing, okay? That's brilliant. Woo, this is exciting. I love this. This is what I love. Awesome. So, okay, let's go back to the diagram, okay? I have other questions, okay? So don't go away now. I see you and I'm watching you. So let's go back. All right, let's go back to my screen share. All right. Everything you said was brilliant. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Anthony, you guys are brilliant. Brilliant. Yes, brilliant. Now, you could put in the WAF. I don't have a pen. I would have just drawn something here. Yes. Implement WAF somewhere. Because with the WAF deployed, on CloudFront, it would provide you with the ability to set up web access controlled lists to filter and block requests based on request signatures. And also with AWS WAF, it provides rate-based rules that automatically blocks IP addresses of bad actors when requests matching a rule exceeds a threshold. Okay, so it gives you that control over which traffic to block. That's brilliant. Now we also have AWS Shield. It's a managed DDoS protection service that safeguards your application running on AWS. Okay, it has this automatic inline mitigations to minimize application downtime and latency. Now, like you rightly mentioned, the ELB. Yes, with ELB, it can automatically trigger to scale up and down. Should there be a DOS or DDoS attack? Okay, ALB, for example, can also be used to accept only well-informed or well-formed web requests, and it could also avoid common DDoS attacks like SYN floods, UDP reflection attacks, etc. This is brilliant. You could also implement Amazon API Gateway as well. You could do that. And also, you can introduce monitoring. And I love what I think Anthony said, that auto scaling. That's very brilliant. That's good. You could do that. Okay. Time is not in our favor. But yeah, let's not don't need to break this down. Okay. Let us go ahead. Now, introduce monitoring. Okay. Introduce monitoring. You can have CloudWatch. Okay. You can have CloudWatch. CloudWatch is there. So you can have CloudWatch for monitoring, alerting, and setting metrics for DDoS attack scenarios. Like a friend rightly mentioned, the security group, have them configured properly. You could have AWS Firewall Manager. Okay, this would provide like a centralized management of, for example, your WAF services and amongst others. Yeah, that's it. That's brilliant. That's what you can do. That's brilliant. Wow, awesome. Now, my next question. I love this. Okay, let's go there. How can I'm your customer, how can I improve my ability to detect security events in my environment? How can I improve my ability to detect security events in my environment? I repeat the last time. How can I improve my ability to detect security events in my environment? I'm going to share my screen. Let's see your input. Aha. Yes, Charles. Okay, Charles, this is for the old one. Okay, CloudFront, that's brilliant. Okay. Oh, yes, Idris. Come on, Idris. I see you. I think you need to connect with me offline. Okay, come on now, brilliant. Brilliant. That I love that. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Come on now, keep it coming. Keep it coming now. Ah, okay. I see you hat plug. Yes, you could analyze using yes, yeah. Ideas, come on. Yes, you need to gather logs. Yes, you're right, King. Yes, you need to gather those logs. Come on, girl. That's it. Yes, SI. Oh, come on now. Come on. I think you guys would have to teach me. Yeah, just teach me. Go ahead, team. Teach me. Integrate system with CloudWatch. Come on, Charles. Come on, Charles. Come on. Come on. Deploying network security system. That is it. Keep them coming, okay? Keep them coming. I'm watching. Yes, deploying network monitoring system. That's good, Akinde. Akinde, I see you. That's brilliant. Keep them coming. Yes, and Johnny said configure CloudWatch rules. Come on. And CloudWatch and CloudTrail use. Yes. That's brilliant, Johnny. That's brilliant, Johnny. I love that. Keep them coming. I'm watching. Keep them coming. I'm your customer. Educate me. I don't know what to do. Help me now. Help me. Help me. Yeah. Okay, Okafor. I see where you're going. That's brilliant, Okafor. Yes. Okay, that's brilliant, Okafor. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. I see where this is going. That's brilliant. Yeah. So, what are some of the tools you can implement? Can one of you state it out there? Give examples of some tools. Yes, EDR2, yes. Yes. Yeah, Timmy talk by Bankole. This is brilliant. You are the second person mentioning this using SIM to monitor logs. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, yes, sir. I see you, sir. We're using Yes, you're correct. That's brilliant. Yes, you are all correct. All correct. Wow. Let me go back to sharing my screen. 1 second. 1 second. Thanks. Okay. Network, don't do this. Don't do this to me. Okay. All right, I think we're back. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Wesley. That's correct. Yes, that's correct. That's brilliant. Yes, and with Splunk, you could use Splunk in monitoring and searching through big data. Yeah, that's brilliant. It helps to colorate information. That is brilliant. Wow, this is awesome. Oh, come on now. Okay. Oh, yes, that's true. Yes, let me share my screen. Okay, I thought my screen was sharing initially. Oh, my network is trying to. Okay, let's go back. Yes, this is brilliant. Okay, we are back. Everything you said is brilliant. Review AWS logs, like you already mentioned. Implement logging and monitoring alerts. You've already said it. Using AWS logs like CloudTrail, S3 access logs, VPC flow logs. You can monitor retain account activity related to actions across your AWS infrastructure. So this is good. So you could have Amazon Guard Duty, for example, because Amazon Guard Duty is a managed threat detection service that continuously monitors for malicious or unauthorized behavior to help protect your AWS network, your workloads and accounts, etc. It can also help to detect unusual API calls and unauthorized activities. We also have Messi. Messi is an AI-powered security service that can help you against data loss by automatically discovering, classifying, and protecting sensitive data stored in AWS. We have Amazon Detective. It allows for security investigations using log data. In addition, do you know also with Amazon RAW 53, you could implement health check, you could monitor, mapping into Amazon CloudWatch, you could monitor, you could see using alarm in place. That's a good monitoring system you could have in place. We have RAW 53 right there. Similarly, you could use your Windows events, your Linux or your Linux syslogs, and other application-specific logs to generate actionable and brilliant data. Now, we have AWS Security Hub. This is a very good tool you can implement on your end. Okay? Another way that I, as a customer, you can to detect and to protect my environment could be having, billing activity, monitoring your billing activity. I know some of you, your mind might not go there, but you can monitor when there's a sudden change in your billing activity. This can indicate a security event. Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to look at it as well. Then having threat intelligence. Now you can subscribe to a third-party threat intelligence feed to correlate information and other logging or monitoring tools. You can do that. Have partner tools. There are so many out there. So yes, so I have another question. I think we have, okay, just 2 minutes, okay, for this last question. I'll let you do the talking here. I'm loving this. So my next question is, as your customer, how can I put my information at rest and in transit? How? Look at this and tell me how. Okay, I'm coming to you now. How can I protect my data at rest and in transit? This is the last question. We'll stop here. Okay. How? Take your time. Okay, want me to turn on my face? Okay. Okay, how? How? I still have 2 or 3 more slides to go. So yeah, how can I protect my data at rest and in transit? I'm waiting. Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you, Dominic. Brilliant. Encryption. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Make sure data. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Anthony. Come on. Encrypting and hashing. Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you, Sogem. Encryption. Yes. Dominic, come on now. Dominic, go ahead and teach us. That's brilliant. Encryption. Yes. Yes. You come on, Akinde. I see you. Yes, Johnny. Yes. In transit and encryption. Yes. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Dominic. Yes. Zip file before. Yes. Okay, that's good. Yes. Yes. In sending. Yes. Encryption. Both at rest. Brilliant. Use all the great secret management stuff with Aha. Come on, Charles. Charles Spencer. I see where you're going. It's awesome. Yes, okay. HTTPS connection. Yes, Temi Talkback Bankole. Encrypt the data. Brilliant, brilliant. I love this. This is awesome. Thanks for chiming in. And that's correct. You're absolutely correct. This is it. This is it. I don't need to talk too much. That's it. So let's go back to screen sharing. That's it. I love this. Yeah, that's it. You answered the question brilliantly. Brilliantly. Brilliant. Let's do this. Yes, Idris, I see you, Ken. I'll talk about that now. I'll talk about that now. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. I applaud you guys. That's brilliant. Like Idris mentioned, you could use AWS KMS, Key Management Service. You could use Cloud HSM, Cloud AWS ACM. You can use these services. With this, customers, you as a customer, can implement a comprehensive data at rest and data in transit. Like you all rightly mentioned, encryption strategy. across your AWS ecosystem is a good security posture. Okay, that's good. With at rest and in transit, even at rest, you can introduce. We have this encrypted file system, so we could deep dive into this. Like it's an interesting topic, but again, we can't because of time. We can't. So we'll just stop here. But I'd like to thank you guys. If you have some deep dive questions, we are time, there's not enough time, reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'd love to deep dive with you. Okay, but everything you provided was absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you so much. You all are brilliant. Yes. And the next slide is we are networking, we are recruiting. Okay. If you're out there, you're in the tech space and you're looking to work for AWS, you can go online and see what roles are a great fit to you and reach out to me. This is what I love doing. This is what I enjoy doing. Reach out to me, okay, with your resume and the job interest, and we could network and we'll take it from there. And again, if you're out there, you're trying to transition to STEM, to the tech field, reach out to me. We would work together. We could come up with a time plan, timetable, just give me your commitment, and we could see how I can help. Okay, very important. You rise with others. You don't rise in isolation. Okay, listen to me. You can't rise in isolation. You can't succeed in isolation. You need people. This is where networking comes into play. If you are shy, that should not be an excuse. Even it's good to be shy. I get it. I can be shy sometimes. I don't know why we believe that, but yeah, it's okay. Even in your shy state, you can maneuver that to network. There's so many ways you could go about that. But whatever the case, learn to network. Reach out. What's the worst case scenario? No. But at least you won't have any regrets. You will know that I tried. I went outside of my comfort zone and I reached out. Okay? And this will lead us to the end of today's slide. Yes, okay, I have Amazon jobs. Sorry, let me share this quickly. 1 second, I have to share. We have the link here. Oh, thank you, Akinde. Thank you so much, Adreni. Thank you, Chanti. Yeah. Thank you. 1 second, I have to show something. Oh, thank you, Wesley. Oh, thank you. Yes, I enjoyed my time with you all. Honestly, this was interactive. Okay, 1 second, please. Okay, 1 second. Oh, thank you, Sorrel. Just give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes, okay, 2 minutes, team. I'm here. 2 minutes quickly. Let's see. Yes, please. Let's share the link. 1 second. Okay, all right, it has been pasted. Okay, brilliant. Okay, but no, you're not late. Okay, yes. So there's a question that is there a security check before you save the config of your server in AWS? Just to be clear on this question, I would like to understand this question very well. Who asked this question? Yeah, because I want to understand holistically. Because if I give my answer, who asked this question, or do you want to reach out to me privately on LinkedIn? Because looking at this, we can you can go there, right? You can go anywhere with this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So reach out to me on LinkedIn. Who asked this question? Please reach out to me on LinkedIn. Okay. Now for the next question, how can I improve my ability to detect threats, security threats in my environment? Now, One way that you can improve, or that you can, yeah, that's the right word to use. One way that you can improve your ability would be first monitoring and logging. This can't be overemphasized. Introduce monitoring and logging in place. Okay, this would help when it comes to detecting threats in your environment. This will give you at least a good visibility into any anomaly in your environment. Okay? Yes, introduce monitoring. This is one very good way. And having cloud trail logs, and also implementing um other security services in place, to automate this data. There's so many tools, but yes, security monitoring, security logging is something that you'd want to implement. Yeah, so that is one way. Yeah, so I have that. You could map this to CloudWatch, because with CloudWatch it will help you to in terms of monitoring, in terms of alerting, setting metrics for any threat anomalies. So yeah, there's so many things you can do. You can do so many things. Yeah, but having logs and the monitoring using so many tools would be a very good way to go about it. There's many things, although, but we can't really talk extensively on that. But yeah, we can't speak because of time. Okay, it's my face. All right, sorry. So we can't speak extensively on that. But yeah, that's something you'd want to do. That's the major thing first. But hey, you can also reach out to me on LinkedIn. Okay, reach out to me on LinkedIn. Okay, if you want to learn more, we could have some sample scenario. Okay, we could have a scenario section. We could come on a screen share, the both of us, and the first person that also asked that question, reach out to me on LinkedIn. We could have like a sample scenario section. I can show you how this can be done. Okay, I can do that. If you can reach out to me, yeah, do that. I would love to help. Okay, and yeah, and that will be all from my end. Okay, yes, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you. Have an amazing day.